Adesina Koiki here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York for Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Media Days, and I am now joined by the head coach, the new head coach of the Fordham Rams, Jeff Neubauer, coming over from Eastern Kentucky. And first of all, Coach, thank you so very much for joining us. How you liking New York City?
Yeah, I absolutely love New York, and that's not an exaggeration. This city it's cool, and there's so much energy. I love every day here in the city.
What are the coolest parts of being here in New York?
Well, I think the trains are awesome. Just being able to get on the Metro North, being able to go down to Manhattan, walk around. There's just so much going on here. It's a fun environment.
So you prefer Metro North opposed to the D train and the 4 train?
I have a lot to learn about the D train and the 4 train, but I've spent most of my time on the Metro North. Yeah.
Coming over from Eastern Kentucky, Ohio Valley Conference, and now being here in the Atlantic 10 with athletes that are different from the athletes that you would see in the Ohio Valley Conference, at least from top to bottom. What are the biggest challenges and adjustments you and your staff have to make in terms of the players that you have and the opponents that you're going to face on a regular basis in conference play, at least?
Well, in general, I think basketball is basketball, but you are right. The bodies in the Atlantic 10 are bigger and stronger. And so there were great athletes in the Ohio Valley Conference. They have those same athletes here, and they're bigger and stronger. So the biggest thing that I've noticed about this conference is the great defensive teams that are in this league. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about the top of the league. Even the teams that have finished in the middle of the pack of the Atlantic 10 over the last couple of years are as good at defensive teams as there are in the country. That's tough to go against, and that's what we are working on. We want to be one of those defensive teams.
What was the attraction to Fordham University in terms of basketball?
Right. So I obviously wanted to be a coach in New York. Tremendous opportunity. I wanted to coach at Fordham, but the number one attraction for me is the fact that the Atlantic 10 has 21 NCAA tournament bids through the last 5 years. That's more than 4 a year, and that's incredibly impressive. I wanted to be in a league like this where we had an opportunity to compete for multiple bids.
You said, obviously, you've wanted to coach in New York. How long have you had that thought?
Well, you see, in this profession, you don't really get to pick the job, okay? But to have an opportunity to come here to New York City, no-brainer. Absolutely a great opportunity, and it's been even better than I would have expected.
You have players on the Fordham team holding over that are holdovers from the Tom Pecora regime. You have players like Mandel Thomas, Ryan Rooms, Christian Sengfelder, who are veterans of Atlantic 10 play and veterans of college basketball in general. What have you seen so far in the practices and just getting to know the players that makes you think that this first year of transition can be more than just transition?
Yeah, well, I think our guys are really eager to show people that they're good basketball players and that they can win. And so they are playing as hard as they possibly can in practice right now. They are trying to learn at a very high rate, and they're doing a good job of it. We have a long way to go, but the thing that really encourages me is how eager our guys are to improve and to show that they can win.
You have a couple of players that I believe you recruited to Eastern Kentucky and now joining you at Fordham, or recruits that you thought about bringing to Eastern Kentucky. How do you put that mix of the recruits that you want and the way you recruit with the players that you have now in terms of chemistry issues? Is there, none of that?
Yeah, we don't think along those lines. Okay. We just have one team, and we're trying to develop every day as a team. We're trying to learn to have a defensive DNA and a defensive mindset. We're trying to learn to play basketball at the offensive end the right way, and our guys are doing a good job of trying to pick that up. A long way to go. All right, but our guys are really trying to do the right things.
Describe your time at Eastern Kentucky. It was a great ride. There have been some great coaches at Eastern Kentucky as well, to go to the NCAA tournament, to go toe-to-toe with the University of Kansas in the NCAA tournament, other postseason appearances as well. Eastern Kentucky must be very, very close to your heart and will always be close to your heart.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's something I mentioned in my press conference the first day I was at Fordham, that I literally sat in my hotel room and cried because of the guys I was leaving behind at Eastern Kentucky. And those guys really meant a lot to me. We had a lot of success together. Richmond, Kentucky was very good to me, and I had a great experience there. I'm very pleased with what happened there during our time. and I'm really happy to be here.
Jeff Neubauer, head coach of the Fordham Rams. Jeff, thank you so very much for joining us. And at any time you want to take the D train, 4 train, A, C, F, E, anytime, all right, just contact me and we'll take a ride and talk basketball and other things. And we can talk New Orleans cuisine as well.
I know something about that as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so very much for joining us. Best of luck and success to you and the Rams this season.
Thank you so much.